Redditors who grew up in small towns, what was the incident? The incident involved sheep. A flock of sheep kept on the town green migrated through a broken fence into the adjacent cemetery. The sheep became known as the landscapers because they did a better job of manicuring the cemetery grounds than the maintenance person. Pastor's son got caught jerking it to gay porn in the walk-in freezer at the Pizza Hut. He did not work at that Pizza Hut. It was hushed up, but the former sheriff of my hometown stole people's lawn mowers and sold them for scrap for close to a decade. Weird place. A light shining into the sky a couple times from out in the woods. Police went out to check it, found a man no one knew in a cabin no one knew of, loaded with guns and ammunition. When asked why he had so many, what he was doing shining a light into the sky. He was sending a beacon to the aliens BC. They told him to shine a light to guide them, when he had things ready for them. Yeah. Teacher's swing a sex ring got exposed. Everyone in the school and their parents found out pretty quick. Middle school vice principal ended up divorcing his wife due to later swinging incident. A little girl had a seizure, or hit her head. Nobody knows for sure, in the YMCA swimming pool, went unconscious, and drowned during a youth swim team practice. My sister and her friends were also on the team. They saw her at the bottom of the pool and thought she was just messing around. Lifeguards and instructors weren't even paying attention. I live in a little town next to the sea. One time during his morning swim a guy found a body on the bottom of the sea a few meters deep, with weights attached to him. For weeks we didn't know if it was murder or suicide, pretty scary. Turns out it was suicide. Our high school principal cheated on her husband with another married staff member, and that guy's wife sent him flowers with a card that said Happy Valentine's Day, adulterer. The kids that worked as assistants in the front office saw it and told everyone. In 2016, a girl who was in my high school class died suddenly in her sleep. No rhyme or reason why. She just died. Rocked the entire town and especially me and my classmates since she was in our class. Still don't know why she died 6 years later. We also had a kid who threatened to shoot up the school and allegedly had a list of girls he wanted to rape as well. The one and only homicide, the town's corner store owner was killed by her BF, who later shot himself in his truck. I had a few. The one that made the news across the nation was the murder of Matthew Shepard. Then we had a HS student, a close friend of mine, murdered by her adult lover because she got pregnant. There were 2 kids 3 years older than me who got married about 2 years ago, and right after the wedding, they found out they were actually twins that were separated at birth. I wish I was joking, but I'm not. They are still happily married. Edit. This is small town Connecticut, by the way. This old lady would helplessly walk around busy parking lots with her walker. She looked so dirty and homeless, and people would drive up to her and give her stuff. Then her family came out and told everyone to stop doing that because she was actually very rich and was pretending to be homeless. A hotel/bar owner got murdered and chopped up into pieces and was left in the ditch in a garbage bag. The guy who did it got out a few years ago and moved back home, been working there ever since. Nobody mentions it and people basically act like it never happened. All this happened in the mid to late 90s, I think. A guy robbed the bank then ran to his home to hide, that was down the street. Took the cops an embarrassingly long time to get him. The county sheriff shot himself through the leg while training. He claims it was a faulty holster and he was reholstering the gun. I'm pretty sure he just had his booger hook on the bang switch at the wrong time. The assistant band director committed suicide. Her husband was a mortician. He used to tell jokes about how the only way he can get turned on is if she takes a cold shower. A Walmart employee quitting over the store intercom and calling out the store manager for being a pervert, and posting the video of her doing so on social media. It spread like wildfire. One old guy thought he could drive one of those huge dump trucks and ended up dropping the damn thing down the stone stairs and seats from the town's community basketball court. Nobody got hurt, but the truck ended upside down. People from the neighboring towns even came to take pictures. The old guy was my grandpa. He also survived. Why though he could drive the thing? He used to be an engineer. An agricultural engineer. An airplane crashed into the town's only water tower. Just happened to be a crop duster fully loaded with herbicides. Very surreal sight to see because it took more than a month to find a crane large enough to remove the plane from the water tank on top of the tower. You drive by, and all you see is the tail of the airplane sticking out the top of the tower. A slasher movie was filmed here, and before production began the town cleaned up and painted one of the main areas that was going to be used in the movie. The studio then had to bring in a team to undo all of the cleaning and painting because it no longer looked authentic. Local cop was taking multiple high school girls out of town to take advantage of. The thing was, each girl thought she was the only one. Then they all figured it out about each other, then got mad and turned him in. After homecoming, a car full of students were driving home and got a flat tire. They were just over a hill and not all the way out of the road. The two girls were inside the vehicle, but the two boys were standing at the back blocking the tail lights. Another student driving home rear-ended them and both boys lost both legs. On a happy note, both went on to play in the Paralympics at least. A girl from my town disappeared after leaving a bar to never be seen alive again. Everyone in town knew who did it, a local kid with a bad reputation, but there was no body or any other hard evidence. Years later, human bones, scattered by coyotes, were found in a pasture. 10 years later, the kid was convicted of another murder out of state and got sent back home for murder. He's doing double life. A group of middle school boys wrote N ******** on a white man's fence. They got caught because one kid forgot his backpack while running away, which had assignments with his full name on it. Teacher at the local elementary school had a nervous breakdown while her class was at recess. When they came back in, she was completely naked and just scribbling on the whiteboard while mumbling to herself. A wealthy couple were brutally murdered in their home by an adult daughter and her boyfriend. It was rumored they had a ton of money stashed in the house. The house across the street from me was illegally growing copious amounts of weed, and one day the whole house caught on fire and everyone in town, including the firefighters, got insanely high. Had a mayor that became mayor after someone crashed into one of the busiest intersections' traffic light. Never fixed it and blew the entire town's money on a Porsche that he totaled by hitting a pole, and other stuff. He resigned and was basically chased out of town. The incident involved a girl going missing, and to this day, there's literally no trace of her. She is a mother of 2. Her name is Amanda DeGio and she deserves to be home with her babies. The daughter of one of the preachers from a church was raped and murdered in the woods off one of the walking paths in town. She was 13. Some cheerleaders pooped on a pizza at cheer camp and blamed the rival high school's cheerleaders. George Bush, president at the time, even spoke about it.